Hello.
Hello.
Join us this week as we show you how warm is a pop top and how to get the best out of your heating, and also what this little flashing box does in the cupboard. So this week is a really exciting video. We get asked so many times, don't we, about how we warm our pop top or how warm it is in the winter.
Yeah.
And how we sleep up there. Is it cold?
And as you'll know, if you've watched any of our videos or know anything about us, I hate to be cold. So when we chose the van, heating and a good heating system was an absolute must. Top of the list, heating and toilet, that was my main two on the list. So this was really close to my heart, this one.
Definitely. So we're going to basically break this video down to 3 parts. The first part, we're going to show you how the heating works and effectively how you heat a pop top. The second part, we're going to show you our particular heating system on this van. So we're going to allow you to skip this bit because the heating system we've got in our van is a Truma heating system. I know some of the newer vans have a whale heating system on them. So if you're not interested in Truma, you can skip that section. We'll put a link in the description below. Click on the next bit and you'll go to the end of the video. But for those who are interested, we'll show you the full Truma system, how it works, how the app works, and how the little flashing box in the cupboard works as well. So if you want to learn about the Truma system and how to get the most out of it, watch that section of our video. And the final part, we're going to do a warm temperature test. So we're going to take a temperature reading at the start now. We've got the pop top open. It's very cold outside.
It's very cold.
The heating's off, so we're going to put it up there now, get a temperature reading, and then we're going to come back and get a temperature reading at the end of the video once we've had the heating on for half an hour. So stay tuned and we'll show you what happens.
So how will we be doing the temperature test, I hear you ask? Not with a normal thermometer, no. This is the Ian Brown School of temperature testing, therefore
it works well.
There's a gadget involved.
This is a little Garmin temperature sensor. You might see it before in our other videos. It basically sits out in your rucksack or something outside. It's a proper temperature tester and then basically connects to your watch and you can get the temperature from it. So we're going to go and pop that in the roof now.
No regular mercury for us. We're fancy, you know.
We'll leave this upstairs and we'll leave it upstairs. We'll leave it in the pop top for the next 5 minutes before we take the temperature, and then we'll see how cold it is up there before we put the heating on. So we've already got the pop top raised. You can see up there, it's empty. I'm just going to pop this just on the side up here. There we go. I'm just going to leave that there so we can come back and check the temperature on it in a few minutes. Just to show you outside, the temperature outside is 3 degrees on the auto trail control panel. So you can see it's a cold night, 3 degrees. The temperature out now is dropped to 9.4, so you can see there it's sort of stabilised. The minimum temperature is 9, so it's sat around about the right sort of temperature. So outside is 3, inside the van in the pop top is around about 9.3 without the heating on.
Okay, so we've established it's freezing in here. What do we need to do to get it warmer quicker? Okay,
Phil, before you turn the heating on, first thing to do is make sure you've got your vents open. So are they both open? You can obviously see them down the bottom there. Right, perfect. And make sure obviously your bed's not made at the bottom. Once the bed's made, it obviously traps the heat underneath it, so it's a little bit slower at releasing the heat.
Check out our bed video on that.
Yeah, so to heat the van up first. To heat the van up first of all, you want the bed downstairs bed closed and kept like that till you've got the van nice and warm. Otherwise it just takes longer. It does work, it just takes a lot longer.
Okay.
So once you've done that, head down to the front of the van. After you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So then obviously you've got your vents open at the front, and then basically go up into the pop top. So the first thing to do is to make sure that we've got everything closed in the pop top.
Right.
So if you want to head upstairs, I'll follow you.
Ooh.
Right, so you need to make sure the pop top is closed. So zip it up. That's it. Zip it all the way around. Okay, so that's nice and lined, and then at the top, this is really important, you've got the vent, the little flat vent at the top.
This one?
Yep, so that's what you're supposed to have for habitation open. If you want to close that at the moment,
go up another rung.
That's it. Yep, it's just Velcro fastened on, but it makes a massive difference to the van, the way the van operates, and the airflow in the van. So do that.
Normally, what we might do, I can't quite reach on that side, is close the vents while we're warm in the van, but then when we go to bed, just to allow a bit of airflow, is just maybe open the sides a bit, just to let a little bit of air in so we don't suffocate.
That's it. Also, if you do want to control the temperature, you've got the side vents as well. You can change it from there too.
Good point.
So they're all closed. Good. Good, so that's all closed. One thing that's a massive difference on the Ducato pop top compared to some of the other vans that have a pop top is this roof is solid. So this roof up here above Caroline's head is insulated, solid, padded, so the heat doesn't escape. It doesn't disappear. So it basically travels along the whole length of the van, and the only place for it to escape really is up through the pop top, through this little hole here. So actually, once you've turned the heating on, the pop top itself becomes really warm.
Because heat rises.
Exactly, the heat's got nowhere else to go. So in terms of thinking of pop tops like a tent, it's going to be freezing cold. It's actually really warm. It takes a very little amount of time to turn it on, doesn't it?
We'll find out.
In the morning, how long does it take to get warm?
Oh, normally it is, yeah, to be fair, it is quite quick in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, cool. Right, let's turn the heating on and see how we get on. So as I said, our system is a Truma boiler, and it's got a Truma hot water and heating system in it. So the Truma system is under the driver's side rear bench seat. So you can see down here, this is the Truma system, this is the boiler and the hot water system. You'll see there, and that's the pipes coming off it of the blown air heating system. So they come out into the van here, and they also come out the back there, so you can see them. So they're blown, hot air is created in there, and it's blown around the van. So there's two in the back, so this is generally the warmest part of the van. There's one in the bathroom, and then there's one at the front dinette as well, which is one that generates the heat that generally goes upstairs as well. So this is the Truma control panel, and this basically, Truma iNet, you'll see this one's got the iNet system on. This is a control panel, so normally it's just got a clock, you can see. If you press the button in the middle, it then goes to the options, and on the left hand side you've got the heating for the van, heating for the water controls, how you want to power it via gas or electricity, and then the fan speed as well. At the bottom along here you've also got a clock, so you can set a timer for it to come on automatically and off again. It's really, really handy that in the winter when you're in bed. On this side you've got the settings for your clock, and then you've got your normal settings as well, and control panel on here. So
you just navigate through those by twisting the dial, yeah?
That's it, just twist the dial. The one you want to select, you just click on it. So if I click on that one, now it's the heating for the van. It's off at the moment, and you just adjust the temperature to what you want it for and press the button. So how does the Truma system know when it's at temperature? So there's a temperature sensor in the van, which is this one up here. So it's just above the boiler itself actually. So there's a sensor there, and that determines the heat of the van. So like your thermostat at home, it works out the temperature in the van and it turns the heating on or off accordingly. Now with the pop top being at the front, most of the heat obviously at the van is generated at the back. The closer to the boiler, the more heat it generates. There's two blowers down here as well. So the further end down the van, it's a little bit cooler because most of the heat's down here. So you have to bear in mind, if you want the temperature in the van to be 20 degrees, and this is where you set it at 20 degrees. But if you want it at 20 degrees at the front of the van, you might have to set it at 22 or 23, a little bit higher, so the temperature is warmer down that part of the van. And that's important when, again, as you're thinking about the pop top too. So you just have to bear in mind, the thermostat is here at the back, and this is the warmest part of the van, so you might need to increase or decrease accordingly. So how does the heating work, and how do you turn it on? So you can do it either from the control panel above the door, or you can do it from the app. And I'm going to use the app on the phone, and I'm going to show you how it works by sharing a picture on the screen so you can follow exactly what I'm doing. So you basically use the Truma app. So I'm just going to start recording my phone screen, 1 second. So click on the Truma app, and it detects that the van is within proximity, so it detects that it can pick up the Bluetooth signal from the little box. So this is what you'd use if you're inside the van. If you're lazy and you sat on this end, or if you're sat up in the pop top, you can control the heating from the app. So you've got a number of functions: news, instructions, if you get stuck, remote control, which is what we're using now, messages, status, and then dealer and a few other bits and pieces. So if I click on status first of all, it shows me the temperature of the van. So this is telling me that the van is actually inside is 11 degrees. So this is down this end. As we said earlier, slightly warmer down this end, so it's showing it's 11 degrees down here. We know in the pop top it's 9 degrees. And it shows us the water temperature, but there's no water in the tank, so it's fine. If I click on remote control, you've then got a couple of options. Now, the first option is the heating, and then you've got the option to turn the water on. Obviously, we don't want to turn the water on because the water tanks are empty. With the Truma system, you can turn the heating on without water in the tank if you just use the heating. Obviously, don't turn the water heater on, but you can use the heating without water in the water tank, which is really important. If you want to use the van in the winter and use it for a day van and go out for the day, it means you can put the heating on, sit in and have a nice brew without worrying about your tank. So I'm going to turn the heating on using this app, and I'm going to choose the temperature setting I want it to be at. I'm going to set it, I'll leave it at 22. It's set at 22, and it's set at Eco. So there's a number of different settings. You can obviously change the temperature, very straightforward, so I'll just drop it to 20. And also the fan setting, you can have it on Eco or High. I'm going to put it on High to start with. You can see the water temperature is then off, and the energy selection is on gas. Now we're on electric hookup, so I'm going to go for I'm going to go for mix 2, which will give us the best. That'll give us the most electricity and the most gas, and that should get the van up to temperature very, very quickly. You've also got timer settings on there too. You can hear it's just starting to click and blow, and actually already you can start to feel there's air coming out the fans at the bottom, so that's instant. So we're going to let that turn on for the next sort of 20 minutes, and we'll see how quickly the van warms up and how quick it gets to temperature. Just to show you on the control panel, you can see it's automatically updated, so you can see the control panel on the door, it's saying it's getting to 20 degrees. You'll see it's on the mix 2 setting there, the fan's on full speed, and also you can see it's flashing. That flashing there shows you that the van's getting to temperature. It shows it's not at temperature yet. Once it goes solid, that means it's at temperature. Same with the water as well. Okay, so many times you've wondered what those little box in the cupboard's for, haven't you?
Well, there's many little boxes in many cupboards that I'm always told don't put anything too near, don't press on it, don't disrupt it. So
no, it's not, anyway,
sorry.
Let's move away from that negativity about my little box in the cupboard. In the cupboard, this cupboard right at the back and the barn doors, on this side, you literally open it up, and inside you've got a little box, and this is the Truma iNet box. So at the moment ours isn't flashing, and I'll show you why. It's got power, which is on green, GSM, which is GSM mobile network, which is like a normal phone network, and it's got Bluetooth. So this little box is controlled one of two ways, either directly via Bluetooth from your phone, from the app when you're in the van, or via GSM network, which is the one that's normally flashing. The reason ours isn't flashing is it's got a SIM card in it. If I take that out, which I'll just do by pressing it in, you'll see, pull the SIM card out, we have in here just a SIM card. Now, this SIM card is a normal SIM card you get in a phone. You'll see the box is now flashing, and that's what most people's look like. It stops flashing once you put a SIM card into it that's got an account basically. So this is a very, very cheap way to do it. The GSM system basically allows you to control the heating on the van remotely from your phone via text message. It doesn't use data, it uses a text message. It's very old school. So you need a SIM card that's 2G compatible, so a basic SIM card. This one's an Asda Mobile, and I bought it with £5 worth of credit. It's a pay-as-you-go, and literally that lasts for 6 months without using it up, obviously. It'll last you for 6 months without actually having to do anything with it. So as long as you use it once or top it up in that time, it'll keep going forever. So it's dirt cheap. It's about 4p to send a text message as well. So to stop the van from flashing, I literally need to just put that back in the van, and that'll stop it from flashing. Just one thing to bear in mind is this SIM card in here is a full-size SIM card. Most phones have a little micro SIM card in the middle, but you can just pop it out, put it into your phone to activate it, and pop it back into this holder, and that will then slot straight back into your slot in the box. So I'll do that now so you can see it. Pop it in, make sure you put it in the right way, which is with the little element thing facing away. I'm just going to have to put the camera down while I do this a second, I think. 2 secs. Right, so I'll pop it back in now. You'll see it'll stop flashing. Pop that in, click it in. That's it. And in a few seconds that GSM will stop flashing because it picks up the phone signal. So Caroline just asked me a question. What was the question you asked me?
You said it costs about 6p to send a text.
4p.
4p, okay. Yeah. Well, where is the cost if you're are you texting the box, or is the box text?
Yeah, so what happens is you're texting the box texts you back. So
oh, okay.
It's a two-way communication. So your normal phone sends a text message to the box saying, please turn on the heating. The box
because
confirms
I'm cold.
That. Yeah, basically.
The Campervan says I'm cold.
Yeah.
Please put the heating on.
It's now stopped flashing. So to stop your little box from flashing, you need to put a SIM card in it with credit on a 2G SIM card, so a really basic SIM card, and that'll do it. So that cost me nothing for the SIM card, and it cost me £5 to top it up with credit from Asda, and that's lasted for 6 months a minimum. We've still got that £2.50's worth of credit on it. So that's how that works. I will show it on the app in a second properly when we're doing it as a separate thing, but that's how you stop it flashing.
Cool.
Any other questions?
There will be some as we go along, I'm quite sure.
Good. Why would you want to send it a text message?
Is this when you text it when you're away to say put the heating on?
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're close to the van, obviously you can use Bluetooth, which is that setting there. Bluetooth turns it on while you're in the van. It's obviously a close connection.
Okay.
But when you're away, like up a mountain or something, walking, and it's cold and rainy, you want to put the van heating on, you send it a text message using the app,
right,
and it'll automatically turn it on for you.
And it replies with "Gotcha, Ian. Putting the heating on for you now."
Pretty much, yeah. It's quite clever. Excellent. That is the iNet Truma box explained. And just the final point on the Truma system. So to use the remote system, you can't be near the van. Otherwise, it automatically detects Bluetooth and it works and it works that you're in close proximity to the van. So I'm going to record my phone screen again so you can see what happens when I use the remote function. So go into the Truma app again, and then you click on this time remote control, and it doesn't bring up the same options. On the screen now, it hasn't got the ability to control it. You've got send as SMS. So you can then send to turn the heating on or the water on using SMS. And that will automatically then send a text to the van, and it'll come back and confirm that it's on and it's turned the heating on for you. So you just choose the settings as normal, but it sends the van a message via SMS, and that's how you do it when you're away from the van. And that's why you need the SIM card, the little GSM SIM card in your box on the iNet box at the back, and that controls it for you. So, hopefully, as you can see, we're back in the van, we're back on this end. Caroline has taken her coat off.
It's warm, I've taken off the fluffy jacket, so it works. Proof.
Yeah, so we'll cut in a second to show you the temperature now and the popped up upstairs, but down here at the bottom of the van it's boiling hot. The benefit of, as I say, having the Truma system, most of the systems you can get on the market, they allow you to use it without water in the tank, as long as you don't turn the hot water on. So it means you can use the van as a day van and still have the heating on. So when it's drained down for winter, you're worried about having water in your tanks, you drain it down, you can still go out in the van for the day, can't you?
Yeah.
And still use the heating, which is a really good feature, keeps you nice and warm. So, looking at the van, back on the ladder, you can see the temperature sensor is still there. So what's the temperature on the watch? Is now showing 16.4, there you go. So you can see in 20 minutes that's heated up really nicely. That's 16.4 in the pop top. It was 9 when we started, so the heating on for 20 minutes has come up nicely. So basically, the moral of the story is close the pop top, turn your heating on and let nature do its thing. It rises up through the hole and then it creates a nice little pocket of hot air up here that you can control with the vents on the side of it as well. So sleeping up here is really comfortable even when it's cold. Just another point to make, if you're too warm you can undo the vents on the side as well. So in the summer you can obviously undo those. That's a mesh on the other side to stop flies getting in. Then you've got one at the front as well. So it gives you plenty of options to cool it too. Hopefully you found this video helpful and useful. We've got lots more videos coming up and some travel ones coming up very soon, but this was one we get asked sort of the most all the time. Yeah,
kind of relevant at the moment because it's freezing, and so it's good if you want to use your van a bit more in winter or whenever you're cold. I mean, I'd have it on all the time, to be fair.
And the benefit is you can set it even on the systems without the remote system on. You can set it at a low setting. So if you're worried about the van getting really cold at night, set it into a low setting. The heating then will kick in. If you're in bed, excuse me, the heating will then kick in and it'll warm you up. Obviously, it'll keep the van nice and warm, even on a low temperature setting.
So you could, like, your heating in the house.
Yeah.
So if you put it on like 15 degrees or 10 degrees or something, if it drops below that, it'll automatically come on.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, so you can do that as well. Handy. We don't do that. I've just realised we've
I know. I'm just thinking, why are we not doing this? Why are we waiting in bed until? I mean, it is good because if we're in bed and it's cold, we can do it. Well, I say we.
Only on the Truma one.
If you
just this part of the video, obviously you've just joined us. That's only on the Truma one. You can't do that in the whale one. So stop mentioning that. That's the last part of the video.
Sorry.
But yeah, the benefit is obviously the heating system. Either heating system heats the van really, really well. Heats the pop top. It's really controllable, and there's plenty of sort of insulation in the pop top. It's really lovely, cosy, and warm. Best of both worlds.
Thanks for watching.
Yep, thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully we'll be away soon. You'll see us in the video next week and we'll share with you what we've been up to. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Just to show you how noisy the fan is, this is on full power and it's right next to the microphone's right next to the fan. So it's really not too bad. You can hear it obviously if you sat on this end of the van, but it's really not too bad. Down the other end of the van it's even quieter. This is on full power. Once it's on eco, it's quite quiet. And just to switch everything off, I'm just going to show you from the control panel. So literally turn the control panel on, turn the heating, and then turn it around to the temperature you want, which I want it to be off. And you hear it click off. That's it. So you can hear the boiler. Sorry, the heating system turning itself off now, and the fans have all gone quiet, and that's it, finished.